Hallo mensen, hoe gaat het? I don't need to introduce myself. You all know me. My name is Teacher Kat, and you guys never pick the right options on the call. We really need to talk about the open versus closed vowel sounds a little bit more. I know I made an entire video, but I want to talk about each and individual open and closed vowel sound. And you know what? I'm done with asking you guys what you want. I'm just gonna do what I want. Oh, before we get into anything, subscribe, like, comment, follow me on Instagram, watch the entire video because I need more watch hours, support me by buying me a coffee, fill out my contact form to book a class. Please, thank you. So today we're just starting simple. We're starting with the first vowel, the first letter of the alphabet, the letter A. In Dutch, we say A. Now, this is the open sound of that letter, okay? A. The closed vowel sound is A. And yes, this is a really big difference for Dutch people. I know you guys don't think so. I know you guys want to go around being like ah with everything. No, we're going to talk about the difference between ah and ah. Yes, I am sassy today. Deal with it. So I would highly recommend watching the open versus closed vowel sounds video, but here's a quick summary. The closed vowel sound is often, not always, we have exceptions, okay? It's a freaking language. We're full of exceptions. So the closed vowel sound is usually spelled with a single letter, right? So in the case of a single a, right? That makes sense. Okay. So for example, in the word got, a, okay? Another example, ball, ball, ball. And the open vowel sound is either spelled with the double letter, so a double a, for example, in the word naam, naam, okay? Or in the word haar, haar, okay? You see the double A. Or we can also alternatively spell it with one single A, then one vowel, with one single A, then one consonant, whatever consonant you want, take your pick, and then another vowel, usually an E, but any other vowel will do, okay? So for example, if we want to pluralize the word naam, we would write it namen. We have one A, one M, and then an E, and that creates the open vowel sound for the a, okay? So if we want to add any other consonant there, if we want to add another M there, this is not a word, but it would be pronounced namen. So the double consonant, in this case the double M, only affects the pronunciation of the letter A and not of the letter M, namen, okay? If we would add any other consonant, for example an S, then it would be pronounced namsen, okay? So not namsen, namsen. Really big difference for Dutch people, okay? Same with haar, the plural would be haren, right? One R and one E, and then we have an open vowel sound for the a. And if we would add any other consonant there, for example an R, it would be haren, or a T, it would be harten. So when we go back to the closed vowel sounds, right? So let's go back to got. If we want to pluralize got to gotten, we have to add that additional T, okay? Because if we don't add that additional T, that word would be pronounced katen. With one T, one E, it would be katen. Okay, so we need that extra T to close off the vowel sound again. Same thing with ball. If you would just add EN, it would be balen instead of ballen, okay? So make sure to add that extra consonant in order to maintain the closed vowel sound. These things are obviously very important to know because students make mistakes, pronunciation mistakes, all the freaking time. For example, there's a really big difference between hot, for example, ik had een bal, versus had, Ik had een bal. And also some of my students say maandag, or they write maandag as well, versus maandag, okay? Maandag is the day of the week. Maandag just means man's day. And we don't need any more man's day. But still, aside from jokes and aside from my feminism, it is still very important to pronounce the difference between maandag and maandag correctly. So here's the difference between the pronunciation of the a and the a, right? And this is going to help you so much. I talked before about how I like the terminology of open versus closed vowel sounds better than long versus short vowel sounds, right? Because if you, for example, take the a sound, which is closed or short according to the Dutch terminology, and you're going to pronounce it for a longer amount of time, you just get ah, which is not the same sound as ah. So the long versus short doesn't really work for me. And another reason that I like the open versus closed terminology a lot more is because actually our mouth is a lot more closed during the closed vowel sounds. Look at my mouth. Ah, ah, ah. Versus the open vowel sound. Ah, ah, ah. Do you see that difference? If you don't see that difference, then I would highly suggest going to a doctor because there is a difference. Another way to look at open and closed vowel sounds is the closed vowel sounds quite often sound like either you're the Queen of England. Oh, I can't. I don't know. I'm just trying to be the Queen of England. So you either want to sound like the Queen of England, right? I can't. Like if you have that feeling, sort of that like, it also sort of feels like you have hot food in your mouth. I'm not sure if you've ever experienced that, but like you're eating something that's way too hot and you're going, you know, that is usually the closed vowel sound, whereas the open vowel sound, the single most important thing I can tell you for the open closed vowel sound is to drop your jaw. Drop it to the floor. Has anyone seen your jaw? No, because it's on the floor. So I hope we've all listened to me. Let's do the difference between a few words, shall we? So let's start by one that we've already discussed today. Man, man versus man, man. Man, man, man. I'm gonna get my computer to find more words because I forgot. I'm so well prepared for these videos, honestly. I should win the Nobel Prize for how well prepared I am. And this computer is obviously gonna take forever to load. So what are we gonna talk about? Shall I talk about like how either comments are really, really nice or really, really mean and there's like nothing in between? Like, what's up with that? Like, why do some people think they can just call me like a conqueror from like nowhere? And then I have other comments asking me to marry them or what? Okay, I'm loading the thing now. Okay, found another one. De rat, so like the rat, right? And de raad. See how much more open my mouth is? Do we all see this? Raad, okay? Raad means like council. Okay, let's find one more for you guys. Yeah, this is more difficult than I thought. It's probably because I'm not really looking at the right material and I can't really think of any examples off the top of my head because I am so well prepared and so well organized. But one of the most important mistakes I've heard students make is obviously hot, right? Like had, like ik had een kat, I had a cat, versus had, which means to hate, right? Hot, had. Okay, shall we do a sentence? I feel like I want to do a sentence. The sentence is, ik had een kat. Maar ik had geen aap, want ik haat apen. There we go, we did it. All right, I think that's it for today. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know in the comments. Feel free to follow me on Instagram. Book a class with me through my contact form. I hope to see you all again soon. Goed gedaan en tot ziens. Doei!